my experience yesterday, I am just amazed that they are even talking about setting up another special investigative committee, this time to investigate Planned Parenthood. And I think we all know by now that's just code for a partisan witch hunt. Haven't we seen enough of that?
This was to be the moment. This had to be the moment where Trey Gowdy and the House Select Committee investigating what happened in Benghazi put their collective feet down and proved to the American people everything that went wrong and why Hillary Clinton failed so miserably. Nothing, of course, is absolute when it comes to American politics. Sides are naturally split on winners and losers. But the resounding cry from voters is the former Secretary of State escaped unscathed. And save for tidbits, this committee failed miserably. And why are we still no closer to ensuring it never happens again? Buckle up because we're going in. Politics up first. For that, we turn to senior writer for the Weekly Standard, the man who had tweet fingers at incredible speeds during the hearings, Mark Hemingway. All right, Mark, you sat and listened like the rest of us. I'm going to use an old horse racing euphemism here. Did the committee throw a shoe on this one and just fail miserably?
No, I don't think they failed at all. It was a long hearing, and Hillary Clinton certainly acquitted herself admirably in certain exchanges, but there are other exchanges that were just absolutely damning. And in terms of the committee unearthing new information, well, maybe they didn't unearth information that was new to them, but there were several key bits of detail. There's several key details that were new to the public. Chief among them are the fact that it's pretty clear now that Hillary Clinton out and out lied about the video, blasphemous YouTube video being the cause of the Benghazi attacks when she knew better the night of the attacks.
Let me stop you right there, if you will, Mark, then, because there are people going to exactly where you're at right now and saying that is the key and that shows cover-up. Do you agree?
I completely, well, I mean, it's hard to say to what degree it shows cover-up, but it certainly points strongly to the fact that she was not telling the truth. And already Hillary Clinton has, strong doubts in the public when it comes to trustworthiness. And this is just going to really pile on top of that. And that's going to be a liability for her going on. Just because the optics of it in the short term appear to, benefit Hillary, these allegations are going to linger. I mean, they speak to the core doubts that people have about her, that she's not trustworthy, and then secondarily, that she's not particularly competent. Whatever you want to say about Benghazi, maybe, even the people that are arguing that what Hillary Clinton's conduct in Benghazi wasn't, criminal or worthy of congressional investigation, nobody can argue that it was good.
Then if we look back at what happened here, why is it that not just the liberal outlets, but a lot of conservative outlets tonight are saying that the committee did not get the job done?
Well, I mean, it depends on what your goal here is. Is your goal here to get to the truth of what what happened at Benghazi? Well, I think that they've done that in a lot of ways. I mean, they exposed that there were various problems with Hillary Clinton's core competency as Secretary of State in terms of providing adequate security. She, clearly, I think we would all agree that she failed to do that, and mistakes were made. And secondarily, part of the reason why there's this perception, though, that this has been ineffective is that it's dragged out for so long and it's become somewhat partisan in nature. Well, I would say part of that has a lot to do with the fact that Hillary Clinton and the State Department have dragged their feet so long in terms of producing documents they were supposed to produce. They made it partisan. For instance, the ARB review board of the State Department that was supposed to evaluate what happened was had final veto power by Hillary Clinton's personal lawyer, Cheryl Mills. So, I mean, there's all kinds of angles of partisanship depending on how you want to look at it.
So, Mark, I got about a minute left here. Is it not fair to say, though, that while you're exactly right, some things were exposed here, but the committee still went off track in a lot of different areas? Shouldn't they have just hammered down on what the main issue was here and not gone off on Sid Blumenthal and so many other areas that now have people confused?
Well, the Sidney Blumenthal is a classic example. People are saying that, oh, well, this, wasn't a core issue about what happened in Benghazi. Well, that's not true. I mean, Hillary Clinton was exchanging all kinds of emails with her and passing on actionable intelligence ideas that Sidney Blumenthal was giving to her. And this is a guy that was banned from working in the U.S. government by the Obama administration. His CIA affiliate, Tyler Drumheller, was, a rather shady figure in and of himself. So, I mean, again, this, yes, on a political level, this speaks to Hillary Clinton's personal judgment as a politician, which is bad. But on speaking directly to her job as the State Department, you don't just randomly ask, Ambassador Chris Stevens to act on Sidney Blumenthal's intelligence without having a firm idea of whether or not it's good or whether or not Blumenthal is trustworthy.
5 seconds and a quick answer from you. Is it fair to say that Hillary Clinton may have won the day, but she's a long way from winning the war?
I think that's exactly right. These accusations are going to linger. I mean, remember, we have the parents of the people who died in Benghazi were at this hearing, and one of them told my colleague Steve Hayes that Hillary Clinton said to him directly, he wrote it down in a notebook that day, that she told him that she was going to get the man who made this video and hold him responsible for what happened to his son. She lied to him in his view about what happened to his son. I mean, that is not something that I think that as this, people focus on and the campaign drags on, and and her trustworthiness becomes an issue that people are going to let go of lightly.
The parents and these people will not forget. Mark Hemingway, thanks so much. We'll talk again.